Ben is the Trimble Business Center product manager and is on the forefront for all the different improvements that have happened in Trimble Business Center. And so that is what Ben's going to be highlighting in this presentation. So with that being said, let's go ahead and turn it over to you, Ben.
Thanks. Yeah, as Troy said, I'm the product manager. I've been at Trimble for about 4 years now. I've been in the product management role for just over a year. Before that, for 3 years, I was in the TBC QA group. Okay. So I spent a good three years trying to break TBC every day and report the issues back to the developers, and also help kind of weed out potential bugs that were going to be in the new releases. So it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun in that group, but yeah, advancing into the PM role has been an awesome experience, and I'm excited to present what we put into 2023.1. So you can advance.
You ready to move on, Ben?
Yeah, go ahead. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Through? Okay, great. All right. So yeah, the TBC, the release was back in October of 31. It was, we were hoping to get it out before Dimensions, and that we did. And so we're really proud of a few of the things that we've introduced into it. With 23.10, and as usual, we have a few bugs that we normally weed out. And sorry, Troy, you can advance to the next one. So with this release, we did come out with a patch. We released that on the 24th, so about a week ago. And in this patch, it included a few more fixes and a few enhancements. And you can scroll to the next one, Troy. So yeah, we had some enhancements that we added to the mobile mapping, as well as some of the point cloud workflows. We did fix a pretty major bug with the takeoff report. So we did do some fixes in the construction modules, but for the most part, the mobile mapping enhancements were a nice add. And then we also updated the coordinate system manager. So a few more coordinate systems were added. We have a couple fixes for some geoids that aren't here in the United States. They're more across the globe. So yeah, we did fix a few things, and so now if you haven't downloaded the newest patch, please do so, and you should be able to do your check for updates and find those. So, but anyway, with 2023.1, as this says, we advanced productivity with new techniques and unlocking value through integration of Trimble systems. So with the point clouds, we enhanced that by giving you the ability to train your own model. So in the past, if you were doing feature extraction of trees, you could easily do that. That was an easy process. So now we've integrated where you can create your own region. And then we also improved the painted inspection routine in the mobile mapping section. Then in addition to that, on the other hand, we did simplify some of the workflows by connecting into the Trimble cloud. And so by accessing the Trimble Connect, there's a better workflow transferring your data from Access into TBC. And then we also enhanced the background maps. So we integrated a new system and got rid of the old system. Next slide. This is kind of the timeline for 2024. So the 2024.0 release is anticipated for late April, early May. And right now we're in the process of, I think we're about two months from actually completing or getting to the point where every new feature is going to be in the new release. And that's when we start testing the release that's going to be coming out. So 2024.0, we'll be testing that nonstop and looking for enhancements and for little bugs as well. But then the next release is going to be 2024.10, and that's anticipated for early October. I'm hoping to get that out well in advance of Dimensions, so that hopefully some of you guys can get to Dimensions this year, and we can demonstrate some of the new workflows and some of the existing workflows that have always been like the mainstay of TBC. And then also, I'm just going to highlight some of the Power Weeks that are coming up. There's a Power Week in Westminster coming up, and then the two global ones, so one in Germany, and then we're going to have one in I think Australia this year. Not really sure yet though. That's kind of tentative. Next slide. Excuse me. So like I said, we have your train your own model for the point cloud module. It uses some AI type deep learning workflows to improve that workflow. And then also I mentioned that we're using the Connect cloud to enhance the data transfer. In addition to that, we've enhanced the feature services that are found in the GIS module. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned, the background maps. For those of you who use the background maps in Access, you might find that the type of service that you had in Access is now available in TBC. So we've gotten rid of the older version where the background map was in some places around the world, here in the United States as well. The accuracy was kind of spotty, is probably putting it nicely. With the new background maps, it's much more accurate. The quality of the map is incredible. You can scroll in or zoom in really far, and you can see in some places the back of curb, manholes. So the improvement is quite nice. And then also you still have the streets, and now there's a terrain portion of the background maps. So like I said, if you ever utilize the background maps in Access, we're now using the exact same service. So you'll find the same results there. And then a couple other enhancements, like I said, the coordinate system, we updated that. And then we're also working on improving the IFC options in TBC as well. Next slide. Again, the coordinate system, kind of repeating myself here, but we've definitely done a lot of work with the coordinate system manager. The custom time dependent transformation datums, that's actually being improved for this next release as well. Then we're also looking at replacing the grid factory. Next slide. So as I mentioned, the field to finish, or the workflow of transferring your data off of Access into TBC, has been really simplified in this release. So now for those who have the new release of TBC, you can utilize the connected workspace. It's a new feature. You'll find it under the Home tab, and in there it'll give you the ability to log into basically Connect, but it's an environment in TBC, so you're not actually logging into Connect. When you access your connected workspace in TBC, what that's typically showing is every project and job that you have in Access, that you have permission in Access. So when you're in the field, in the past, you'd have to usually download into a USB device and then take that and plug it into the computer and download from there. Now, using the connected workspace, we're taking that field to finish process and really simplifying it and making that a smoother process. So now in the connected workspace, you simply select your project. The project will open. And actually, Troy, if you want to jump to the next one, it might show. I think it shows. There we go. I meant to demo this, but sorry, we can't quite do it right now. But as you can see in the top screen there, there's the connected workspace. It shows all my projects that are in Access. So if I open up Access, I could demonstrate the same projects that you'll find there. And then also what's in Connect. you select one of those projects. So for instance, selecting the top one, which is Dunkel. Below that, you can see all the projects that I have, or all the jobs I have in that project. And then for the project I have selected there, you can see the scans that I have in that job file, and how many images I collected, and how many points there are that I shot in that project. And then I also collected GNSS shots, and all those are also in the box near the bottom. And in that box, it also includes any files that are also linked to that project. So if I had a DXF file that's linked, it would show up in that box. If I had an FXL file that I want transferred, I could simply scroll through there, check whatever file I want to download along with my scans, hit the import button, and all that data would import to TBC like you would expect if you're downloading from your USB drive, dragging and dropping those files into USB. So all this is done in the cloud, and the workflow is, like I said, it's quite seamless actually, and I'm pretty happy with the results. And just to give you kind of a outlook for 2024.0, we're now working on getting the workflow going to the field. So you'll be able to import design files like a DXF file or IFCs, point files. You'll be able to put that into the connected workspace. And then with that in the connected workspace in Access, you can link those files to your project. So that's kind of completing that whole field to finish, office to field, field to office workflow. So yeah, I would expect that in this next release. Now, the whole point is to eventually eliminate the use of Sync Manager. So, oh, sorry, Troy, you can move on. So as I mentioned at the beginning, we have created this ability to create a learned process where you can create a custom model for the feature extraction portion of the point cloud module. So here you can create your own class. You can then have TBC go through that and search for that feature and create a new class for that feature. So in here, we're demonstrating an electrical box. I can create a model or a model of that box, have TBC basically go through the whole project, and it will find those boxes. Right now, the only classes that you have are trees, poles, signs, ground. So there's a number of classes there. But with this, it gives you the ability to train your own model. So another example would be fire hydrants. If you have a large data set and you want to find or determine the class for fire hydrants, you could create that class and then have TBC go through the process and find all those objects and put them into a new class. So it's not a straightforward process. It is slightly complicated, or well, slightly complex. There's a tutorial out there that does an amazing job explaining the process, and even in the help, there's a great explanation of the workflow. So I highly encourage people to give that a shot. Next slide, please. We also have implemented advanced point cloud filtering. So here you have options. In the past, it was just a straight up, whether it was random or a sample filtering of the point clouds. Here we're making it more intelligent for doing the filtering. We're working on improving that even for this next release. But here you have a pretty simplistic but more intelligent way of filtering out points based on the elevation, and hopefully soon where you might find break lines, you wouldn't have such a thinner filtering for those areas. Next slide, please. And as I mentioned, the photogrammetry, or I haven't mentioned photogrammetry, we're doing a lot of improvements in 2024. You'll find right now some of the enhancements are the shorter upload time. So if you have a very large data set, upload time has been drastically lowered as far as, or also going through the whole adjustment process for those images. That process has been has been sped up quite well. And just the overall improvement of creating the ortho photos has been improved as well. I would expect a lot more enhancements in the 2024.1 or .0 release, but for now, those are the improvements that we made on 23. Next slide, please. Losing my voice. In this slide, this is also for point cloud extraction. I think Skylar might go into some detail about this, but this is mostly for mobile mapping and doing pavement inspection processes. So as I mentioned at the beginning, there's been some improvements made in the pavement inspection section of the mobile mapping. So the improvements, the speed, the lane detection is a big improvement as well. The automatic extraction of the paint line markings, which is an awesome add. So a lot of improvements here as well. Next slide. And that wraps things up pretty much. I want to also make a shout out to the beta community. For those of you that are interested in joining the beta community, please email me. I'm more than happy to sign you guys up. It's actually quite a interesting group. It's a small group, but with the beta group, you can get an early release of TBC. So I'm getting ready to release the beta for 2024.0 in a couple of weeks. All the users will get an early version of that. And the whole hope is that the community, as they utilize the modules that they have, they get to use the new features that we've just built into TBC. And it's in a way, it's a way to help us kind of QA/QC the new release, and also give us feedback on how you feel about the look of things, how the workflow could be improved. So it's kind of a win-win for both you guys and us. And yeah, if you want to help out, feel free to email me, and more than happy to discuss with any of you guys more on it, but we appreciate the help. Next slide, please. And I think that might be the resources tab. So hopefully this slide deck will be available for all you guys. But on this page, kind of shows all the options that we provide here at Trimble and for TBC. So one thing I really want to highlight is the middle one, the resources PDF. That PDF is a very, very large deck that has a lot of resources available for TBC. It's updated bi-weekly, I believe. And so any new power hours that are done, we have the recordings are added here. Any new data sets that have been included in, say, a tutorial, they'll also be included here, even tutorials as well. They'll be included here, and like I said, they're updated bi-weekly, I believe. So this is a live document, and a very, very large amount of information that can be pulled from this. And I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions?